Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Mukoli. On the program today, the federal government orders forces to clamp down on pockets of security threats across the country. Parents and students fault low level of welfare and infrastructure at the Osun State Secondary School for persons with special needs. And UNICEF draws attention to increasing numbers of malnourished children in Adamawa State, Northeast Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. We begin with the issue of security, where the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, is asking the residents in the Northeast to collaborate with the military in intelligence gathering. The Air Chief, who is on a routine visit to the 69 Composite Group in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, told journalists that getting information is key to winning the war on terror.
System that is perfect. We're always looking at areas of improvement, and that is why actually from time to time these visits are very important to us. We should all be very, very observant on what is happening and report to security agencies any suspicious movement. Intelligence is very important, and therefore everybody has a role to play, including yourselves.
Chief of Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal Sadiq Abubakar. Now, in Enugu State, in the southeast Nigeria, residents in Uzo-Uwani local government area are still licking their wounds after a clash between suspected gunmen and farmers. The Commissioner of Police, Nwodibo Ekechukwu, insists that a kind gang of hoodlums were responsible for the incident and not the herdsmen. He adds that although security operatives were able to repel the attack, 6 people were killed and several others injured while investigations continue.
A clash between any two groups. What happened was that some hoodlums between 6:30 and 7 a.m. yesterday attacked Nimbo community, which is Uzo-Uwani, a local government of Enugu State. The local government itself is a very vast one that has boundary with Ebonyi, Anambra, Kogi and Benue. The hoodlums came through the bush. They killed 6 farmers who were heading to their farm as they were coming, and injured 6 others. The police and army teams in the town noticed what was going on and started coming after them. At that point, they fled. They were also able to effectively repel them to the extent that the hoodlums couldn't enter the town.
Staying with security issues, faced with a growing wave of communal conflicts and other clashes in some parts of the country, the federal government has ordered all security agencies in the country to crush and deter all crises that have the potential to breach the peace and national stability. The Minister of Defense, Mansur Dan Ali, who gave the order at a forum in Abuja, says government will not relent in its task of securing lives and property. He says that all socio-economic activities in the country must continue to thrive without any hindrance from criminal elements and terrorists. And in other news, as Nigerians continue to groan under power outages, the Minister for Power, Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, is once again assuring them that government is working to solve the problem. According to him, the federal government has a plan to complete 47 transmission projects this year, and if adequate gas can be supplied, the issue will be a thing of the past.
It's a very hot season of the year, and I see my children too, sweating, heat rash, and looking at me is like, look, what are you doing about this thing? But let me be very clear, this problem can be solved, but it just needs some more detailed and methodical approach. Now, first work to do is supply more gas. So without gas, I'm like a generator owner who can't get fuel, so I can't power my plants. And I know that the Ministry of Petroleum Resources is working hard first to overcome that problem. We had plans that we had agreed on to provide more gas to all of those struggling power plants which didn't have gas. So there are errors of planning of yesterday, but there are errors that can be corrected. There are omissions of yesterday. Proper planning to build a power plant and arrange that simultaneously when the power plant is completed, the gas input is also completed. Aba Enugu Disco had a standoff. They were in court for about 2-3 years. Money was being lost. We've resolved that now. It's just to tidy the paperwork now that issues new licenses and breaks up the distribution into two. And hopefully by the end of this year, because the project was reported to be very, very far gone, hopefully before the end of this year, that can be resolved. Now, as we do that, many people will get connected. Now, the point you're making about power outage, let me also make this point. In the last 1 year, there were parts of the country, unfortunately, they probably don't have the media presence, that didn't have energy at all because they were not connected. Some of the parts of the Northeast that had their transmission lines damaged have been restored. We've completed transmission projects in places like Okada, in places like Makurdi. And so that 5,000 that went to 3,000, those people who didn't partake at all are now getting some energy. The story is a mixed blessing, mixed story. What we get, after 8 months, after 6 months, we now have power. I know that in the next few weeks to months, the next question is, our power has gone out because it's not sustained, because it's still not enough. So what was enough? What wasn't enough? We still have to share, and more people get hooked up. But there's a plan to complete 47 transmission projects in this year's budget, and I believe that we can do it, even if the budget is passed today.
Mr. Babatunde Fashola, Minister of Power, Works and Housing. To education in the southwestern part of the country, parents and students of the Osun State Secondary School for Persons with Special Needs are complaining of inadequate welfare and infrastructure. They are appealing to the state government to provide basic amenities required to improve the living conditions of the students, considering the peculiarity of their challenge. This call is coming on the heels of a recent sexual assault of a female student in the school.
This is the Osun State Secondary School for Persons with Special Needs, established in 2007 by the Olagunsoye administration. Located along the Ring Road in Osogbo, the state capital, the school is the only secondary school for the physically challenged in the state. With a population of over 300 students, the boarding facilities appear to be neglected. The structure in the school may look good from the outside. Learning here is challenging. The school lacks basic infrastructures such as toilets, dining halls, and the females have had to take their baths outside until recently, when the block of 5 bathrooms was donated by an individual.
We don't have guest hostel. We need guest hostel and bedroom. Then we need dining hall. We need all. We don't have a hall that we can use to eat. We just eat in the class and go to the hostel and eat.
We have many problems in this school, but in our school we want to help us in this school because of bad things that can happen in this school.
Security here is also said to be porous, as the compound is not fenced and it operates a boarding section and various commercial activities take place around the school. A 24-year-old female student was recently raped when she came to use the restroom outside the hostel at night.
The people are coming in the night to rape our girls.
This has also given parents and guardians cause for worry.
We want them to help us do defense around the school, because all the people that are around that school, we are not happy, because there's 2 hoteliers, then the tipper and the meat seller. All this, they are not the people to be around that school, because they'll be finding crime to these children.
A deputy governor who doubles as a commissioner for education speaks on the situation.
The man has been arrested, and we've taken other actions to prevent such occurrence in the future. It will never happen again.
The Osun State Police Command has refused to comment on the arrest of the man believed to have committed the crime, insisting that investigation is ongoing.
The case is under investigation. We will not leave any stone unturned at making sure that whosoever that committed such acts will be dealt with according to the law.
The state government has said it is ready to fix things at the school. Maybe that promise will help the students and their parents to rest assured that the welfare of these ones with special needs will be protected.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, the United Nations International Children's Education Fund speaks on malnutrition in Adamawa State.